everyone, today we discuss the part 18 of the NEET quiz important questions, and today's our topic is the pons part of the brainstem. So just try to first answer the question by yourself. Nucleus of which cranial nerves are seen in pons? So trigeminal, abducens and the facial nerve. Over here, trigeminal at the upper level of the pons and the abducens and the facial nerve at the lower level of the pons. Facial colliculus is seen at which level of the pons? So the lower level of the pons. Which nerve is directly attached to the pons? So trigeminal nerve. Nerve attached to the pontomedullary junction are the facial nerve, abducens nerve and the vestibulocochlear nerve. Which nerve is attached most lateral at the pontomedullary junction? It is the vestibulocochlear nerve. Which nerve is attached most medial at the pontomedullary junction? It is the abducens nerve. Nerve attached at the pontomedullary junction above the pyramid. It is the abducens nerve. Now, what is the medial to the lateral attachment of the nerves at the pontomedullary junction? So, they are medial to the lateral. As we go from medial to lateral, they are abducens nerve, facial nerve and the vestibulocochlear nerve from medial to the lateral side. Which nucleus are seen at the pons? They are superior olivary nucleus, superior salivatory nucleus, special lacrimatory nucleus and the nucleus of the tractus solitarius. Nucleus of the tractus solitarius is related to which nerves? To the facial nerve, glossopharyngeal nerve and the vagus nerve. Trapezoid body is a part of which pathway? It is a part of auditory pathway. Trapezoid body is a part of which lemniscus? Of the lateral lemniscus. Superior salivatory nucleus controls secretion from which gland? From the submandibular gland, sublingual gland and the lacrimal gland. By which two roots trigeminal nerve is attached to the pons? By the small medial motor root and the large lateral sensory root. Which nucleus of the trigeminal nerve are seen at the pons? So they are motor, spinal and the sensory nucleus. Hemorrhage in the pons will lead to internal squint. Millard-Gobler syndrome is due to the involvement of which part of the brainstem? At the pons. What are the characteristic features of the Millard-Gobler syndrome? So, there is ipsilateral internal squint, ipsilateral facial palsy and also contralateral hemiplegia. Areas of the pons involved in the Millard-Gobler syndrome are the abducens nerve, facial nerve and the corticospinal fibers. Which lemniscus pons have? The pons have medial lemniscus, lateral lemniscus, spinal lemniscus and the trigeminal lemniscus. Lemniscus present at the pons are organized from medial to lateral as, so over here the most medial one is a medial lemniscus, then comes the trigeminal lemniscus, spinal lemniscus and finally the most lateral lemniscus is the lateral lemniscus. Okay, now the spinal lemniscus carries which sensation? It carries the touch, pressure and the temperature sensation. Pinpoint pupil in the case of pontine hemorrhage happens due to involvement of reticular formation. Deep sleep and the coma in the case of pontine hemorrhage happens due to involvement of reticular formation. Nervus intermedius lies in between facial nerve medially and auditory nerve laterally. Large part of brainstem is the pons. Smallest part of brainstem is the midbrain, which is the largest cerebellar peduncle. It is the middle cerebellar peduncle. Facial colliculus is seen at which level of pons? At the lower level of pons. Nerve attached at the pontomedullary junction above the olive are facial and the vestibulocochlear nerve. Floor of the fourth ventricle in relation to the pons have which areas? They have facial and the vestibular areas. Floor of the fourth ventricle in relation to the medulla have which areas? Have hypoglossal, vestibular and the vagal areas. Lateral superior olivary nucleus, medial superior olivary nucleus, retroolivary nucleus are part of which part of superior olivary nuclear complex. Now what is seen in the Raymond syndrome? Over here, hemiplegia at the opposite side and the medial squint on the same side is seen. What are the features of the Fowell syndrome? So over here, ipsilateral squint, ipsilateral facial palsy and the hemiparesis for brief duration on the opposite side are basically seen. So today up till here, we'll discuss about the further important notes and MCQs of further important topics in our next video. Thank you so much.